are Cochrane right now. This is a weekly podcast all about the best town in the world, Cochrane, Alberta. My name's Eric Recital, joined as always by Lauren Meister. And Lauren, I have a very serious question for you right now. Do you hate Cochrane or are you just lazy? Like, which one is this?
I have no idea where you're going with this, but it seems kind of rude.
Well, it's rude to all of us. We want to be the best community in Canada. We are all working together to be more active, Lauren.
Yes.
With participation.
I signed up for your team.
You did, and I have our team there. I am captain. It says I have over 600 minutes. We have Meg, who is also part of our team, and then there's Lauren with 0 minutes. You're telling me, Lauren, we are falling lower and lower. We're being beat by Leduc right now, and I blame you.
I thought it synced up, so it still hasn't?
No, it said zero.
It's still all these days later.
Yes.
I showed you how I synced it all up. You know how good I am at technology. I don't know how to work these things. I'll take another look, but you need to help me. I want to help the team out. I really do.
Maybe you are synced and you just sit there all day.
Exactly.
Yeah,
I get zero.
Zero.
I do sometimes, because I wear a smartwatch and sitting in the studio for like 6 hours straight being on the air, my watch is constantly yelling me, saying, time to move, get up and stretch. Yeah. It's time to get up, get some steps in. Yeah. So it does yell at me quite a bit. But then as soon as I'm out of here and out of work, I am, let's be real here, like I am pretty active.
Okay, well,
you wouldn't know it.
You're not helping the community because all month long, it's until the end of June, we are working together for a better community challenge. And if we were to come first, it might be a little bit tough. Like the top three are Edmonton, Calgary, Red Deer. Population's a little bit larger than ours, but if you do come in first, you get a ton of money.
Oh, it's like $100,000 or something. Yeah. It's huge.
So that would be really cool if Lauren helped out just a little bit, just like 1 minute.
You need to help. You need to help me out so I can help you out.
Well, okay. Colbie is picking up the slack. And she is only 2. Have you seen this video up on CochraneNow.com?
Incredible.
The youngest runner in Footstock history rocks the course this weekend.
Incredible. So 2 years old. So typically the cutoff is 3 at Footstock, which is still pretty incredible. 3-year-olds rocking a triathlon. Yeah. But Colbie is just a little 2-year-old. I mean, some 2-year-olds can barely even walk, but she's doing the full thing, like swim, bike, run. And Noel was down there taking photos, taking videos. So we were watching the video of her.
My gosh.
And she is super confident in the water. Like both my kids at 2 didn't even want to get splashed.
I
couldn't even imagine them jumping in the pool, taking part in the triathlon.
And Colbie's like mom was just next to her. Like she's kicking, she's going. She probably would have done way better than even myself. Like you got to go watch this rock star. It is just the cutest video you'll see all week. And Footstock seems like a big success. Everyone I talked to ran it, had a ton of fun. Of course, the return to normal Footstock.
Yeah,
and
a full event.
it was a great weekend for it, except for it was kind of rainy.
A little, but I think the rain really held off until later in the day. But I drove by Spray Lakes, I don't know, about 6 times that day, taking kids to and fro that day. But it was cool seeing all of the kids biking, and because the course, of course, goes away from Spray Lakes, and it just looked like a packed house down there.
And we were down at Spray Lakes for the farmers market. Of course, it has returned. All these independent vendors are back down there. And let me tell you, some of these nicer older ladies have really figured out the prize with getting young kids. They knit these cool stuffed animals, Baby Yoda, ducks, penguins, and my goodness, my kids just are gravitating right to them.
Yeah. That's pretty hard. And then it's, how do you say no? And especially when you know it's handmade.
I know, right? And they're like, oh, it took me 40 hours. And you're like, oh, and it's only $12. That's pretty good. But the farmers market season is always awesome because there's always treats down there. There's the popcorn, which had a monstrous line.
Oh,
the kettle corn people.
Oh, it's so good. What do you usually go for? Is it more like the fruits and the veggies, or like do you like the baked goods, or like what's your thing?
We start the drive going, let's go get vegetables, right?
Yeah.
Like, oh, let's go down. I don't think I have ever bought in vegetables.
Are you kidding me?
The farmers market is always either junk food or stuffed animals.
Yeah, all the homemade stuff.
How about you? Are you like
I do get the fruits and veggies because like you cannot beat farmers market fruits and veggies. Like you're not going to get that at the grocery store in the summer, right? And you get just like a wide variety and it's all fresh and stuff. But as soon as you walk by like the fresh like cinnamon buns and the bread, it's like, how do you say no? Like you can't.
Especially with the samples. Like, oh my
man.
gosh,
Yeah,
it's so good. And you got to go to a fun event over the weekend. Dance is also back in full swing, and your daughter was part of a huge showcase put on by Snap. And how did the recital go?
It went awesome. Yeah, this was her first official dance recital because she had been in dance a couple of different years, but the dance recital at the end of the year never really happened because of COVID and all that kind of stuff. So this was the first real dance recital that she's ever taken part in. She's 6 years old right now, and she just had such a blast. And the way they kind of break things down is they had all the little kids together. So it was preschoolers up until I think grade 1 was pretty much the oldest class that was there. So it was just cute little kids.
Aww.
There was this one little girl. She was a preschooler in a different class, not in my daughter's class. I have no idea who she was, but we stayed for 2 different performances, and this girl wanted nothing to do with the dance recital. She was happy. She was good. She was happy,
nice.
but she just like laid down on the floor and just refused to
you
dance.
need one of them.
I know. It was so cute. Everyone at the ranch house in the theater there was just like howling, laughing. It was so cute. Both times the dance teacher had to pull her off the stage nicely. Like, come on, you got, if you're not going to dance, like you're holding up the show here, like literally, like you have to get off the stage right now. And it didn't happen once, it happened twice. And it was so cute, but that's what do you do with like a 3 or 4 year old, right?
Exactly. And like you said, this is the first time even people who have been in dance for quite a while have been on that big stage with all your parents taking videos. It can be intimidating.
Oh, for sure. Yeah.
So,
but it was nice to just like do something normal again. And for my daughter, it was exciting to wear makeup. She wants, I mean, a 6-year-old to wear makeup, that's a big thing in their world.
And now it's reversed. If you don't have to wear makeup on a date, you're like, yes, jackpot.
I miss those COVID days coming into work and not seeing anyone.
And over the weekend, of course, 2 huge grads, both Cochrane High and Bow Valley. St. Tim's was last weekend, and it was just really cool seeing grads out and about in town because it was in Cochrane for, I'm going to guess, the first time ever?
Yeah, or at least for the last while. Like you graduated a couple of years ago.
Just a few,
right?
Yes, and it was all in the city, right?
Yeah.
Convocation was in the city,
That's
and then we come
crazy.
back and get ready and then head back to the city. So
that seems like a pain.
we were in a
just
limo.
going
We
in
were young and having fun. But all
feel
my
like-
photos are in Calgary.
I didn't grow up here, but I just feel like that doesn't even make sense, right? Like you're from Cochrane, like your photos should be in Cochrane.
Yeah.
Like what's the connection to Calgary, right?
I don't know.
There is no connection.
No connection, but it was fun driving in a limo. I don't know if you needed that
cool.
here.
I feel like it'd be more of a pain for the parents, though, too.
Oh, 100%, right? Like Candace Davies, who had a son graduating, was like, it's so nice. They walked home afterwards because it was all down at Spray Lakes.
Mm-hmm.
I saw her son at Cabeza, and he was just hanging out with his bros in between because, of course, all the ladies take a little bit longer to get all ready. And so it was just really awesome that the grads got to do it. And the photos, I've seen a couple of them, awesome. They're in Cochrane. And
that's so nice.
Here's hoping that this continues.
Yeah,
right?
Yeah, for sure. I mean, we have the space. It's big enough at the curling club. So, yeah.
But this one was all put on by parents.
Mm-hmm.
So obviously not the convocation part, but the party was all parent ran. So huge shout out to all the parents.
Yes.
That would have been just a little bit of work.
The
Just a
amount
little
of
bit.
organization. Well, it was cool too. I was looking at the photos and they had like appies and whatnot, but they had couches and they had stand-up tables. So it was like different stations that you could go and just kind of go hang out and just like mingle.
Yeah.
It wasn't just like a formal sit-down dinner. So I thought that was pretty cool.
Yeah, for sure. On a scale of 1 to 5, Lauren, how good are you at swimming?
3 and a half?
A 3.5. Do you think you could save somebody? You seem like somebody who would have lifeguarded in high school.
I got my lifeguarding
There you go.
training.
Yes.
I did.
Nice.
So 20 years ago, yeah, probably. Now, my swimming now is like sitting in a hot tub.
So you're not making it onto the Water Ninjas.
I don't think that they would accept me on the Water Ninjas. I've seen what they do.
Especially because they are the best team in Canada. So if you don't know the Water Ninjas, they are a life-saving team. Like, this is a sport that I really only learned about here at CochraneNow. And it is lifeguards who are on top of their game, and they go and do relays. They drag dummies through the water, and this team is the best in Canada.
That is absolutely incredible. And I love that it's a mix of like teenagers to adults in any age range. So
really?
you could be a water ninja.
As the person they're saving. Come on, dude.
But I just think it's really cool. Like you could just join this at any point and become a water ninja. It's fascinating. And yeah, you're right. I've never really heard any other community doing this. So I don't know how big it is in other towns.
Yeah, well, obviously it's huge. I believe they were out east doing these competitions, and reading through the story there, a lot of them did several races. And I don't know, this is just a really cool side sport that I think has a really big community here in town. But if you're not in it, you might not necessarily hear about it all the time.
Well, could you imagine trying to drag a dummy out of the water? Like, that's dead weight, right?
During the summer, there's always that point where, like, you go to a body of water and it's like, oh, let's swim out to that buoy. And you're like, ha. And then after the first 30 seconds, swimming is hard.
It's a workout.
Swimming is really hard. So dragging somebody else, and we both have young kids who are on your back, taxi. Yeah, that's hard enough. So
and like a heavy dummy. And again, that's just like, they do a million other different obstacles as well. But
and I saw the Cochrane High track team won a ton of medals as well.
Yeah, some provincials
The national sports seem like disappointing right now. The playoffs are dead, the basketball. But here in town, my gosh, do we have some fast kids.
Yeah, we do. I feel like you and I are really dropping the ball.
Oh, yeah, especially you with your
me.
0 minutes.
Right?
I'm going to make sure you help us become the best community.
I know.
That is it for your Cochrane right now. You can grab this podcast on all your favorite podcast services. Watch a YouTube video of it up on CochraneNow.com. And as always, thanks for hanging out.